What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Triple Option Podcast, and we have a great week of games coming up. I'm with Chase and Mike. How you boys doing today?
Doing good. Getting ready for some football this weekend.
Fired up. Got a good Sunday slate. You got NFL at 1, Talladega 500 at 2, Pats Kansas City at 425. Shout out to Bubba Wallace. Where's my 43 right there? Let's go.
So to start this week off, just to get this out of the way, because it's kind of an interesting point. Tennessee and Pittsburgh postponed because of COVID. I think like 8 players have COVID. Do you guys think this will be an issue like going forward? Like, do you think the league will start to get a little iffy? Your opinions?
I think worst case scenario, if the NFL is smart, they will just call a straight 2-week. Everyone has a bye week. Just push the season back 2 weeks. Everyone gets time to quarantine, all that good shit. And the next you know, you're back in normal. Very lucky that Steelers and Kansas or the Titans had the same bye week. That's very lucky. That's very smart. But you know, they're not in a bubble because obviously it's a long season. No one's going to want to move into a bubble for the regular season. Like we saw the NBA kind of do that. And, you know, they might. I wouldn't be surprised if they do that for the playoffs and stuff like that. That'd make a lot of sense. But if they're smart, and if this gets out of hand, they will cut the season. Say, all right, we're going to pause for 2 weeks. 14 days, maybe 3. Give the players a nice long bye week. Everyone can quarantine, get back on track, and then they can continue the season. No, the Super Bowl is 3 weeks later, 2 weeks later. Well, I'd rather have the Super Bowl 3 weeks later than no NFL season. All right, that's my opinion. I just know Roger Goodell's going to fuck it up somehow.
Yeah, so apparently Tennessee and Pittsburgh had different bye weeks.
I
think Tennessee had week 7, Pittsburgh had week 8, and they swapped it. I think they swapped bye weeks with Baltimore too, so they can fit it in. So now Baltimore's matchups move back. But yeah, just an interesting take because if let's say they didn't postpone it, it would be kind of iffy.
Yeah, it'd come down to like a week 18 kind of game.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's get started. Let's go, Mike. What do you think?
Yeah, I was just thinking, I don't know. It took a while for the first cases to come in. What is this, like week 3 now? So I'm pretty optimistic in the season. But, yeah, it was bound to happen. Unsure of what's to unfold. But like you said, if these issues come up later in the year, they won't be situations like, oh, we can shuffle around the schedule and, like, everything will be okay. Like, they're going to have to, like, add additional weeks to the season.
Yeah, well, they had to be prepared for this. I mean, thinking about starting the season in general, they definitely, like, had a backup plan in place just in case. There's no way they didn't think of this. But, yeah, just interesting to see what happens.
Real quick, one more thing, too, is I wouldn't be surprised if they add a week 18, a week 19, a week 20. Because, dude, that's more primetime games. I bet you, like, the TV channels, they love that. You know what I mean? Like,
for sure. More weeks.
Like, dude, so much more. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets put to that. And, you know, I wouldn't be too against it. You know, the more football. I'm not going to say, no, I don't want any more football. But, yeah, you know, I'd rather have, them take the safer route where it's, all right, no football for 3 weeks. Oh, no, we get to watch more college. You know what I mean? That's the safest route, in my opinion. I know Goodell's going to fuck it up and he's going to do something to make more money. And it's going to, best you can hope for is nothing bad happens.
Absolutely. All right, so first game of the week, what do you got, Chase? Who is it?
Got New Orleans at Detroit. New Orleans -4. It's kind of I'm picking New Orleans to do both. I picked them to cover. I picked them to win, obviously, but I don't feel so great about it. Obviously, Detroit just went into Arizona and was like, let me put my cock on the table real quick. Yeah, like
they won that game. Yeah.
Damn, you know what I mean? Okay, like Matt Patricia's like, all right, one more week, I gotta keep this job. Yeah, I don't think that they're gonna win, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's an upset here. I wouldn't even call it an upset because New Orleans 1-2. They're both 1-2. So is Detroit beating New Orleans an upset? I don't really think so. I wouldn't be surprised if Detroit wins, but I think it's just the safer, more logical option to take New Orleans in this game.
Yeah, obviously, I was very impressed with Detroit last week beating Arizona. It's I would consider that a decent upset.
That's an upset. I just mean like
the Cardinals are playing. Yeah. I do I don't love New Orleans, obviously. I picked them to lose against Vegas. I was right about that. And New Orleans, their best receiver is Alvin Kamara. The best runner is Alvin Kamara. So really, they're just dumping it off, check down, 3rd and long, they still check it down. And obviously, Kamara's a special player, so they've been able to score points that way. But it's not really sustainable. They need Michael Thomas back badly. Drew Brees has struggled to throw the ball down the field, but he is a Hall of Famer, so I'm not doubting Drew Brees. I think he'll do enough, but I don't think he's going to be good enough to take this team to the Super Bowl. But this week they'll win. I think they'll win relatively comfortably, but I do like Kenny Golladay adds a little bit more verticality. Is that even a word, verticality? Anyways, he's a great receiver. Yeah, he goes down the field. He's a jump ball type guy. Give him a chance. He's very underrated. I didn't love him for fantasy, but like just watching him, I mean, he's a good player. So obviously Matt Stafford's happy to have him back. So yeah, it'll be an interesting game, but I think New Orleans is going to win pretty comfortably, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm with Adam on this one. Love Stafford, great quarterback. Detroit finding their stride, but I like my chances with the New Orleans team coming off 2 straight losses. Sean Payton's going to be ready for this one. Have the boys ready to go. Also, New Orleans' offensive line in passing situations look pretty good, and Detroit's has the lowest pass rush win rate out of all 32 teams in the NFL. So I think Drew Brees is going to be really comfortable in the pocket. Have a lot of time
good line too. New Orleans got a
decisions.
Good line.
Yeah. So I think Drew Brees has a great game here. A good spot for New Orleans to get things back on track and get back to 500.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to start 1-3 and expect to go to the playoffs. 1-2,
they have to win this. They have to. This is kind of desperation.
Pats go to the playoffs all the time, 1-2. You know what I mean? Like obviously, Drew Brees, Hall of Famer. Most passing yards are like good stuff in the regular season. Unimportant stat. Tom Brady's the most. Yeah, you don't really see a lot of 1-3 teams going to the playoffs, especially you don't want to lose to Detroit. Obviously, the Pats won it all when they lost to Detroit when they were 1-2, but that's just a whole different scenario. It's not like we're seeing like go Tom Brady, Drew Brees. Here's my hot take for the week. I think Taysom Hill has more fantasy points than Drew Brees. I think that I think it's a kick in the pants to Sean Payton. Like, is Drew really that good anymore? All right. Always enough time on that game. All right, here we go. Chargers at Tampa. Tampa -7. I'm feeling dangerous.
Okay.
Chargers going to win. Chargers going to win.
That's just a Patriots fan opinion. Who's sad that Tom Brady.
So you admit you're not a Patriots fan. That's what I'm hearing.
No, I'm a big Patriots fan. I'm more of a Tom Brady fan, but we'll get into that.
All right. All right. So what happened is here's my thing. Anthony Lynn, you almost beat Kansas City. Almost.
They probably should have won. If they went for it.
You know what I mean? Like,
got it.
Should they be 3-0? Could they be 3-0? Sorry, they should not be. They could be 3-0, but they lost to the damn Panthers, who were trying to. Obviously, they're not trying to lose. But I'll tell you this about the Panthers. I'll talk about the Panthers later. But yeah, what did we witness? I remember saying, my friend was like, Anthony Lynn. I can't believe he said Justin Herbert didn't prove himself. I'm like, dude, it's been 1 week. Obviously, Justin Herbert hasn't proven himself. And he didn't. They lost to the damn Panthers. Herbert has weapons. You know what I mean? They got a very solid 1-2 combo in Allen and Williams. Williams is just brittle, like Swiss cheese out. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, goodness. And they got Hunter Henry, and you got Austin Eckler, who's a top 10 running back. And they have, like, a very gross defensive line. I don't know. I just think that this defensive line is going to come into Tampa and just make – Tom Brady's not mobile. I think they're going to make Tom run for his life. They have a very good – they have great cornerbacks to match up with their great receivers. They got Chris Harris Jr., you got Casey Hayward. They got Nasir Aldry out there in defense. I'm pretty sure Derwin James is still injured, right?
Yep.
All right. If Derwin James was not injured, Chargers would win by 20. But still, they still have a great defense behind them. So I think LA is going to come in and beat the Bucks, not handsomely, probably by only 50.
All right. So first of all, Chargers were a hook and ladder away from actually winning last week. That pitch to Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen pitched it to Eckler.
Yeah, ridiculous.
If they connected on that would have been a touchdown.
Lost me my fantasy week.
We thought the Chargers were like, wow, they gave Kansas City a really close game. We're like, all right, this team might be the real deal. Then they lose to the Panthers. Like, never back to earth for the Chargers. But I got to tell you, they're a good team. They're a balanced team. I like Herbert. He's targeted Allen like 26 times in 2 games. Ridiculous stat, which is great for Keenan Allen fantasy owners. Back onto this game, Tom Brady, the last time, let me remember, Tom Brady gets the Chargers. Oh, yeah, it was like 28-0 at halftime. It was a blowout. Tom Brady had a field day. That was the mic'd up clip with Joey Bosa. It's like, why are you throwing the ball so fast? I mean, Tom Brady, like, this is just a cakewalk. But different team, different system. If Bruce Arians lets Tom Brady be Tom Brady, call his plays, do what he feels comfortable with, which we started to see last week, I think Tom Brady will be fine. This is a great game for Tampa Bay at home. I think they're wearing red. I'm not too sure, but this is a classic Tom Brady clinic we're going to see. And I'm not just saying this as a biased fan. I just think that's what's going to happen. I think Tampa Bay's, now that New Orleans looks pedestrian and now that Green Bay is like, oh, they're doing well, but like, Green Bay is always that team that they get blown out of the NFC Championship. So I'm not really, once you see Green Bay get blown out all these times, they're like, it's hard to unsee that. So really, like, the NFC is wide open, and I think Tampa Bay is that team. But yeah, this is a game they should win. I think they'll win by more than 7. Obviously, the pass rush is good for the Chargers. They'll give them some issues, but overall, I think the Buccaneers defensively will hold Herbert in check, and they'll do enough to win this game.
Yeah, it's always a tough challenge. Rookie quarterbacks always tended to lose to Brady. I don't know. The last time a rookie quarterback beat Brady was the one and only Geno Smith, my boy, West Virginia represent. Got the job done in 2013, outdueled Tom Brady. The best quarterback got the win there. But
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's going to be a tough matchup. Obviously, it's a different circumstance. Brady, that's more of like Bill Belichick's defense against rookie quarterbacks, but I think they're going to have like a similar mindset. I think Herbert's going to see a lot of blitzes. It's going to be difficult for him, especially if they're trailing. So it'll be interesting to see how he handles the pressure. And I feel like it's probably like a mental thing too. It's like, oh, I'm going up against the greatest quarterback of all time. Like, I got to like keep up or like even outdo him. Like, I think he's got to like just be in the mindset of I just got to play my game and not worry about what Brady's doing. Just do the simple reads and stuff like that. And I think if he does that, I think they will cover the 7.5. I think the Chargers will be able to stay within reach. But if he starts trying to do extra stuff, trying to make throws that he shouldn't be doing just so he can say he played a better game than Brady, I don't think it's going to go well for this team. So we'll see what their game plan is. Herbert did look pretty decent in these first couple games, so I'm excited to see what he does in this matchup.
I like that.
I don't really think Herbert plays hero ball, which I'm really betting on. I don't think he tries to play hero ball. You know what I mean? He's already played Mahomes, who's currently the best quarterback, and he almost beat him. I'm not too worried about him coming in playing washed-up Tom Brady at home, especially Tom Brady doesn't play well in hot weather. That's just a known fact. And if they're wearing red, that makes me even more certain that they're going to lose this game. All right. We got Jacksonville at Cincinnati, the premier game for me and Adam, because we obviously, biggest Jacksonville Jaguar fans.
I like Minshew.
Spread is Cincinnati -3. Give me Jacksonville. Give me Jacksonville going to cover. Give me going to win. You want to know why? Not Mayfield. Why did I think it was Baker Mayfield? That's an insult to Minshew. Minshew is fighting for his damn life. If the Jaguars have a chance to get Trevor Lawrence, they will do it, and they will kick his ass to the curb. You think he wants to lose to Joe Burrow week 4 after they just got smacked at home against the Dolphins? No way. He wants this game more than Burrow does. Burrow obviously doesn't want to lose. No one wants to lose in the NFL, but Burrow's time's coming. It's Minshew Mania time.
You know me, I'm a big Minshew fan. Like, I put him on the same level as Deshaun Watson at some points, which is
he's better.
Some people might think it's like, what are you talking about? But guess what? Deshaun Watson, he's not a winner. Minshew, I feel like he's a winner. Anyways, you don't know about Joe. Joe Burrow is more special than Minshew. He's like the one quarterback that I'm like, my heart's tugging me towards Joe Burrow. And I think upsetting, or not really upsetting, well, it's a tie, but they went into Philly and they got a tie in that game. Like, Philly should have won that by like 10 or 14. Like, that's like, as bad as Philly's been playing, I still thought Philly was going to handle business. So it shows that Joe Burrow, with a bunch of garbage on the offensive line, is actually giving teams some issues. Now, this game, like Jacksonville, they're not much of a team besides Minshew and Chark and Laviska Shenault, your boy. Like, they're not. They're not
the defense.
And Robinson,
CJ Henderson, Miles Jack,
hype up the
Josh
Jaguars
Allen.
defense.
Josh Allen. I can go on. I can name two more players.
I'm taking.
All right, let's hear him. Name him.
Joe Sherbert, right? Browns' old middle linebacker.
Maybe I might have to start looking.
That's his name. His number's like 40 something. I hate it when linebackers have the number in the 40s. It's so stupid. And you got Taven Bryan, the defensive tackle, the big white guy from Florida.
This is a weird talent of yours, knowing the Jaguars' defensive roster. Anyways, really quick, just to close it up, I'm taking Cincinnati by like 4. That's my take. It's a battle of two bad teams, but there'll be some good sparks from both the quarterbacks.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Cincy -3. Minshew sucks. Watson's a good quarterback. He's just
That's
on a bad
a
team.
blasphemous take.
And also Watson, he's
We'll be
won
eating
some
those
games.
words.
He's a national. He won that college championship against Bama where he went off. But yeah, in the NFL, tough when Bill O'Brien's your coach to have any success. So I don't blame him. But sticking to this,
Dude, we're not
game,
talking
Joe Burrow
about
is a better
Watson. Don't even
quarterback.
compare them. They're such different categories. Minshew's
A winner.
Watson.
Watson,
Yeah,
down
dude.
14, you're not coming back.
Minshew played at Washington
yep.
State. Yeah, all right, Mike. All right, not everyone's lucky enough to get recruited by Clemson.
True. Hey, Gardner Minshew, great guy, but he's not that great of a quarterback. I'd rather have Joe Burrow than him, obviously. So give me Cincinnati -3.
I would agree with that. Joe Burrow over Minshew. But I'll take Joe Burrow over Watson. I'll take Minshew over Watson. Game on the line, 3rd and 10. Lights are the brightest. Let's go. Let's dance.
Speaking of Watson, we got Minnesota going into Houston, and Houston -4. I hate to say it.
Don't tell
I
me
think
going
Houston's
Houston.
going to win this game. I think Houston's going to win. They're going to win by some absolute cheese. I'm talking like Kirk Cousins, like walk-off pick-6, some bullshit like that. Minnesota 0-3. I'm pretty sure they could have won last week. I remember it was close. Fucking
This is a
Bill
battle
O'Brien Bill O'Brien just like a little just pile of bullshit that just weasels his way into winning. And who the hell thought it was a good idea to promote this man to GM? So lucky he isn't traded. I'm just waiting for him to trade J.J. Watt away, and then citizens of Houston knock down his front door and just absolutely just ring this guy. But I think they're going to win. Minnesota, obviously, we got two teams, 0-3 in the hot seat. Both thought they were going to go far in the playoffs this year. Not looking good for them. Not looking good for either. Houston's at home. Pretty sure in Texas you can have home fans. I'll give them – now we'll get them an extra point. An extra point right there maybe. But it's just – I just don't have any faith in Minnesota. They look just beat. Justin Jefferson's the only guy in that team that showed life. That man just like wheeling and dealing, living his best life. I don't know. It's just I think Deshaun wants it more than Kirk does. I don't really think Kirk cares. He's got his money. If he's on his way out of that league, I don't think he really gives a shit. So I'm going Houston's going to win, but I think it's going to be close. I think Minnesota's going to cover.
This is a battle of the 0-3 teams that shouldn't be 0-3. That's like my take on this. Houston, you can make the case that they should be more 0-3. They deserve to be 0-3 more than Minnesota just because of their strength of schedule is ridiculous. They play like two of the best teams in the league. It's like that's a tough schedule. Then Pittsburgh. So I think Houston's going to win. They have to. The reason they're going to win this game is because they have to win this game. That's just the name of the game. Like there's no way around it. This is desperation mode. If you go 0-4, your chances make the playoffs, even with a garbage division. Titans are garbage. Like it's hard. You know what I'm saying? So this is going to be one of those games where both teams are desperate. So there's going to be some good plays, some big plays. It might be entertaining to watch, but I'm taking Houston as bad as they are. As much I do not like Bill O'Brien and Deshaun Watson. As much as I do like Kirk Cousins, I'm still going to take Houston. They're going to win by 4. And I think home field's going to come in here, and it's going to be big. But watch out for Justin Jefferson again. He had a big role step up last week. He had a huge game, blow-up game. And I think if he continues to play, not obviously as good as he did last week, but it's just a little fraction of what he did, he'll come up big, and he'll give Kirk Cousins another, like, security blanket with Thielen. So that's a good 1-2 punch there. But, yeah, I'm taking Houston. They're both really bad teams.
Yeah, Minnesota, they're in a really tough spot. That Kirk Cousins contract situation is such a mess. They're, like, guaranteeing them, like, mega money. And I think, like, I was reading up on this. They're going to have to, like, cut him before the 2021 season, or else they will be, like, locked into paying him an extra $35 million in 2022. So a disastrous situation. They're probably going to be looking to trade him, but I don't know who's going to want to pick up that salary. And even if they do finish really badly, they could draft a quarterback, but then I don't know what you do with Kirk Cousins. So horrible situation for the Vikings. Texans suck too. Pretty bad teams. I'll just take the team, the one with the points. So Vikings +4 sounds good to me, but I think it's anyone's game. If I had to say who wins, I'd probably pick Houston, but if I'm getting the +4, I'd go with Minnesota. But yeah, tough spot for both of these teams. Whoever loses this game, everything's in the hot seat. Coaches, GMs, quarterbacks, everything's out the window. Whoever loses this game.
I say pay Kirk Cousins. Great player. Last week showed why.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Vikings go like 2-14, 1-15, and get Trevor Lawrence. Wouldn't be surprised at all.
They're not going to go 1-15. That's not going to happen.
You never know. I mean, hey, they're talented, but
if they'll go 1-15, and Kirk Cousins throws with his left hand the whole season. That's all I'm saying.
Here we go. We got Seattle at Miami. Seattle -6.5. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. I don't need to talk too much. Seattle's going to win. They're going to cover.
Yeah, me too. Really short and sweet. Calvin Noy's going to take over this game. Miami easily. I'm kidding. Seattle pretty comfortably. I think Seattle's going to give up a lot of points though, because I don't really trust their defense, and I think
the defense is so bad. I didn't even realize how bad their damn defense is.
I think Fitzmagic to Gesicki is going to be the connection. They're going to put up big numbers in a garbage time performance. It's going to be Seattle by like 10.
Yeah, I think Seattle covers. They're so good. Russell Wilson's incredible. That passing game has been ridiculous. Lockett and Metcalf are going off. I really like what's going on in Seattle, and I think Russell Wilson's going to have a special year this year. So I like Seahawks -6.5.
Yeah, with as good as they're playing, they might have a chance to take down Tom Brady. Very slim, but they might.
All right, here's my last thing for you, man. Mike Gesicki is just a rat little fuck. That guy is the worst. I hate watching him play.
There
that
goes the 18+ vid.
That motherfucker against the Pats was flopping every goddamn play. He was covered. He gets touched. Like, this isn't soccer. This isn't the NBA. You're not LeBron driving in the paint right now. You're a fucking tight end. Grow a pair. You're 6'6". You're going against Adrian Phillips, like 5'10". This man pushes you. You shouldn't even be fletching. All right, we got Cleveland at Dallas. Dallas -4.5. This is a pretty good game. I don't feel it's too safe taking. No, I feel way safe. Never mind. I lied about that. Dallas -4.5. They're going to cover. They're going to win. I think Jackson have a field day. We all underestimate he may have the second worst tight ends in the league behind the Pats, but he has 3 guys who arguably could be number 1 receivers on other teams. I'm not saying they should be, but they could. Obviously, like Amari Cooper would be. You can make a case for Gallup, and you can make a case for CeeDee Lamb. Obviously, he's a rookie. I might just be like, giving him might be like sucking up to him. But then you also got like Cedric Thompson. I think that's Cedric Wilson. Is that the guy's name?
Yeah, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns. I don't know where he came from.
Yeah, exactly. You got this guy who's your 4th option. Like, how are you supposed to cover him? And you still got Zeke. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's. I think it's going to be a shootout. Dallas' defense is atrocious. Oh my God, I overestimated them so well.
You tried trading me the Dallas defense in fantasy. I don't know what the hell that was about.
All I know is in fantasy, I have Justin Tucker and Harrison Butker.
That's the 1-2 punch. If only you could put him at flex.
That is the best 1-2 punch you'll ever see in your life. Edit the league so I can flex that for real. So here's my thing. Alden Smith looks like an animal. Looks like a tank. I don't know how many sacks he has, but that man is just – he's back.
He's good.
He's back. You got him and DeMarcus Lawrence on the edge. I don't know what's up with DeMarcus Lawrence. I haven't been watching too many these Cowboy games. But they will – that secondary is young. They're going to kick in the gear soon. I think this is going to be the game. You got OBJ. You got Hooper. And you got Landry. I think they can shut them all down. I think it's going to be a big – we shut down 3 big guys. And you got Hunt and Chubb. Terrifying. I think Dallas is going to win this game, go to 2-2. I think they're going to come out of this game with a lot of momentum, and they're going to finish 7-9 and win the division.
I kind of agree with you with the 7-9 division part. I like the way you closed that. But the name of the game is this: if Baker Mayfield has to throw the ball like 30 times, they're going to lose. If they are able to ground and pound Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, bootleg, dump it off to Jarvis Landry. Then once they stack the box, go over the top, take a shot to OBJ. That's how they're going to win this game. That's like the formula. I think Baker's a game manager. If you ask him to do too much, he makes too many mistakes. You simplify the offense for him, you can get a good chance to win, especially with that. You have some key good pieces on defense. So Dallas, I'm not the biggest Cowboy guy. I like their offense is obviously exciting to watch. Defensively, they're always banged up. Sean Lee is never healthy. Their secondary is pretty bad. So I'm not a big fan of the Dallas defense, but I'll give you something. If Dallas puts up a lot of points and puts pressure on Baker Mayfield, this game's going to become out of reach for him. So I'm going to take Dallas by probably maybe a touchdown. But honestly, this might be the best game of the week, considering both teams kind of need to win here. And I think if the Browns go 3-1, they're in good shape.
Yeah. Baker Mayfield, big game for him. Tends to do well in AT&T Stadium. He's had some good games against Texas.
Back home,
so we'll see how he does in Dallas. Dallas is the better team. Dak Prescott's actually been looking pretty good. So I'll probably take Dallas -4.5. But like you said, I'm actually excited for this game. I think it'll be a good game. Probably my favorite on the
It'll be very
slate.
entertaining.
So, we'll see what they do. It's two good offenses, so I expect the shootout here.
Yeah, I got to agree. It's going to be a shootout. It's going to be very exciting. All of Dallas's games so far, besides obviously week 1, were remotely shootouts. And that Seattle-Dallas game was all it was lived up for. Joe Buck was having a field day out there. All right, we got Arizona going into Carolina, and it's Arizona -3.5. I think this is a safer pick right now as Arizona's going to win, and I think the safer picks they're going to cover. But here's what I will say about Carolina. Mike, you should be, hyped at Matt Rule. This man is, he's turning a team that everyone thought was going to go 0-16 to a team that's scoring 30 points a game. And even though you guys went into to the Chargers, again, we talked about earlier, we thought they were going to blow. You didn't even have CMC, and they still won. I mean, you might have found a hidden gem in Matt Rule. So honestly, I think I still think Carolina's going to put up some big numbers. It's just Arizona's better. I think they're going to move to 3-1. Kyler Murray's just all that. You know what I mean? He's been him and D Hop. That's a pretty terrifying duo. Because the thing with a receiver like D Hop. It's just you got to just throw the ball to him and let him do his magic. You know what I mean? You can't wait for him to get wide open. You just got to let him do his work. I think Kyler's doing just that, and I think a lot of other coaches and a lot of teams just got to acknowledge, look at that too. Why aren't we? You just got to have trust in your receiver sometimes. You know what I mean?
It was great in trusting the receiver, 50-50. Jay Cutler, great player. Back on track. Okay.
Yes, sir.
You're looking at – there's not too much to be excited with the Carolina Panthers. I think Matt Rule's all right. I don't think he's going to transform this team like he did in college, take a team that's garbage and make them a winning team. That's not what's going to happen. I do think that Arizona's going to win this game. And I was kind of upset with Kyler Murray last week because I was like, honestly, if he continues to play like he did the first 2 weeks, he could be up there with Josh Allen and Russell Wilson for MVP voting. Then he throws 3 picks against a bad team. I'm like, dude. I mean, they're not a bad team. Chargers are okay, but not a great team. You know what I'm saying? Wait, they didn't play the Chargers last week, did they? No, they played the Panthers. That's right.
The Panthers did, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Anyways, back on track here. Detroit, thank you. They all blue, same thing. Bad teams that wear blue. Kyler Murray's a good player. DeAndre Hopkins, you know about him, top 5 receiver, yada, yada, yada. Not much of a game here, but I do want to see Kenyon Drake get in the end zone. 3 weeks in a row. Dude's had around 80 yards, can't punch it in. Instead of scrambling with Kyler Murray, give a little screen pass to Kenyon Drake. I would like to see that. So, yeah, I think Arizona wins by 4 or 5. But it'll be kind of a weird game. It'll be closer than it should be, but Arizona's a better team. They should win this.
I like my chances with Kyler Murray. Last time Kyler Murray went up against Matt Rule, I think he hung 70 on Baylor's defense or something like that. Well, obviously, different circumstances now. But that was a pretty good Oklahoma team. He's Kyler Murray throwing it to Hollywood Brown and CeeDee Lamb. But, yeah, now in the NFL, probably a better defense Matt Rule has than what he had at Baylor, but still pretty awful defense. They actually did okay against the Chargers, but still gave up 300-plus yards in the air. So I don't know how good their defense is. Probably not so great. I feel more comfortable taking Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury getting the win against Carolina. Spread isn't too bad either, so I think I like the Cardinals to cover the 3.5 as well. But like Chase said, Panthers did a decent job last week. I was pretty surprised that they won. Finally got some sacks first of the year. Brian Burns looked pretty good. And Mike Davis played well in CMC's replacement. I still think they should give Curtis Samuel some more touches. He's so good in open space. They should line him up in the backfield, put him in the slot, and just get more creative with how they can get him the ball in his hands. I think he's way underutilized, and he's a pretty good player that needs the ball in his hands. So we'll see if they move some attention towards him, but should be a decent game. I think Arizona wins by 7.
Before we move on to the next game, I don't mean to interrupt you, Adam. Basically, what my thing is, it's not like Carolina's not in win-now mode. They clearly are. They wouldn't have given Teddy Bridgewater a 3-year deal if they weren't in win-now mode. And I wouldn't be surprised, like Adam said, that this game's going to be sneaky close. I think it could be like a walk-off Arizona touchdown. But, it's not like Carolina's not throwing in the towel, and they're not banking on getting Trevor Lawrence. They are in win now. They have a bunch of guys. They're not necessarily a young team. Obviously, they have a lot of young guys, but you look around that team, you have talent in each position. So I think that it's going to be sneaky close. Could be a walk-off. Yeah.
I like it. Good take.
You have anything else to add, or I didn't mean to interrupt you?
No, it's going to be kind of a boring game. Not going to lie. Not going to watch it.
All right, we got Indianapolis going into Chicago, and the spread's Indy minus 2.5. Pretty whack game to have Indy be favored, in my opinion.
There's a big X factor in this game, and the fact that it's Nick Foles. Just that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm riding the big dick wave. I mean, you saw what he did. He came in. Obviously, he didn't play defense, but he came in and beat the Falcons. They were at something like 90-something% to win that game at one point, and then
we've seen Nick that story many times.
You just don't want to bet against a 3-0 team that has the better quarterback. Frankly, I'm going Chicago's going to win, obviously covered.
Yeah, I'm going to hop on the Chicago bandwagon for a couple of weeks as long as Nicky Foles is starting. I think you can't teach being a winner. I think Nick Foles is a winner.
Dude, that man is a winner.
He's just a good guy. He's just a nice player. I'm he's a leader. People rally behind him. They just find energy with him. You know what I mean? Unlike Deshaun Watson, you just find something with Nick Foles. So I think Nick Foles does well. I think they should feature David Montgomery even more now that Tariq Cohen's hurt. So give Montgomery some reps once in a while. Back shoulder sideline, Allen Robinson. Their offense is going to get a big boost from Nick Foles because he's not going to turn the ball over. He goes through his progressions. If you give him time, he's a safe quarterback with tons of upside. So, yeah, give me Chicago.
I like Foles a lot, too. I think he's a great quarterback. I just don't understand how they didn't even get the nod. I don't know what he's doing in practice, if he sucks on 7-on-7s or something like that. But when you put him in the moment in the game, this guy does not miss. He's making great throws, super comfortable in the pocket, great deep ball. And I don't know, the team whichever team he's on just rallies around him. He's just a great guy, great leadership. And
you just know, here he comes.
Yeah, he's like an elite deep ball passer. I would put him in that category. And yeah, I think he's way better than Phillip Rivers. I think the Bears defense is pretty good. The Colts have been killing opponents lately, but beating the Jets by 40 doesn't say much. So should be interesting though. The Colts O-line's really good. Bears D-line's really good. So will be interesting to see how they clash. But yeah, should be a good game. I like the Bears to win here and cover the spread as well.
I think the Bears are just embarrassed from that Mitch Trubisky pick, so they're trying to hold on to him as long as they can. So they don't really want to name Nick Foles the starter, but they found a good reason to after last week. But yeah, that's my take on it.
Yeah, the beginning of that draft was just atrocious. Oh my God! You look at, I just saw today on Bleacher Report that everyone thought they were going to pick Jamal Adams. That would have been an absolute better pick than Nick Foles. So I remember in the beginning of that offseason, they gave Mike Gleason a 3-year deal. I'm like, why would you give that man a 3-year deal than just picking Mitch Trubisky? But I'm not going to go into too much detail about that. It's just, it really is you see the memes and it's Bears fans have to live with the fact that they passed on Mahomes and Watson.
Oh my! They probably would have been a Super Bowl team with that defense.
Ever live that down.
Absolutely.
It's
they
a fact.
Traded up to take Trubisky over Mahomes. That's
one pick.
Awful.
One damn pick they moved up. You got to look at it obviously we aren't Bears fans, but can you imagine being
that's awful.
We missed out on Mahomes and just even Watson at that point.
That's how every NFL franchise feels about passing on Brady for 6 rounds. So
Brady's 6 rounds, everyone missed him, even the Pats at one point. You know what I mean? Technically speaking, but I just feel it's just a different scenario. It's just so bizarre. All right. Also, one other thing about that, the Giants, McAdoo's like, yo, give me Mahomes, and the Giants like, shut up, buddy. Like, can you imagine if the Giants got Mahomes?
Is that true?
All right. Yeah, that's actually a fact. McAdoo was like, yo, like, bet you he'd still be the coach, and that division wouldn't be dog shit. All right, here we go. We got
McAdoo.
Yeah, we got Ravens at Washington, and it's hefty spread. Baltimore -14.
Ooh.
I saw Haskins is in the hot seat, and like this might be Alex Smith's teams by the end of halftime. I saw Ron Rivera was like, "Yo, buddy, like you regressed. Get your head out of your ass. We're playing for keeps." So that doesn't mean anything to me. That means the Washington might lose by 4 scores, not 5. I'm just gonna keep it sweet and simple. It's just gonna be Baltimore -14.
Yeah, I think Baltimore last week was embarrassed, and I think they're going to want to come back and forget that game and put out their anger on some bad team like Washington. And I don't care if Dwayne Haskins, you have 3 of them on your team. He's a bust. He's not a good player. So this will be a pretty comfortable win. I picked against the spread. I think it was Indy last week. It was like Indy -11 against the Jets. We see how that turned out. It was a blowout. So now you're taking a better team versus maybe kind of like the same caliber team as the Jets.
I think Washington's better. Their defense, Washington's defense is better.
We've heard that defensive line's good, but I'm going to take Baltimore. I would love to see an upset here in Baltimore lose again, just because I don't like John Harbaugh. But I'm just going to go with my feeling here, and I think they'll win pretty comfortably. So I'm going to take Baltimore -14, which is hefty, but that kind of has to be done.
Yeah, I'm on board with Baltimore -14 as well. Washington, I wouldn't say Haskins is a bust necessarily. Still give him some time. He's looked okay, but I think he's really going to struggle in this game. Yeah, it's just not a good matchup for him. Baltimore's pretty angry about their last performance probably, so they're going to come out swinging, and I don't think it's going to be pretty here in Landover. So I like the Ravens to cover 14.
Yeah, I mean, Haskins, second-year quarterback. He's not even played 16 career games. He's not a bust. Like, it's terrible. It's too early to call somebody a bust after you haven't seen him play for 16 games. Everyone called N'Keal Harry a bust. N'Keal Harry's producing what he's been doing this year. I'm gonna call him a bust. You know what I mean? But you got to give someone at least a full season, if not 2, before you call him a bust.
It's tough to say that when you see Metcalf going off, and you're just like, "Damn, we should have took Metcalf." And N'Keal Harry
I don't get me wrong. I would love to have
in
Metcalf.
The end zone, falls
but
down
it's
easy.
my thing is, I'm not saying I wouldn't want Metcalf over Harry, but it's just you can't. It doesn't mean Harry won't come out and get like a 1,500-yard receiving year. You know what I mean? Like look at Chris Carter, obviously a huge, totally different NFL now. That man was on the Eagles for 4 years, didn't do jack shit, came to the Vikings, now he's a Hall of Famer. You know what I mean? You can't call someone a bust after less than 16 games.
Yeah.
Quarterback's different positions, there's only one of you, you know. But yeah, I don't know. It's too early. I understand if, Washington wants to move on from him because it's now Ron Rivera's team and Ron Rivera didn't pick him. Doesn't you know what I mean? But it doesn't mean Haskins not going to come out here and, be good. I mean, you don't really see a lot of guys in the NFL that are quarterbacks get cut and then go to a different team and make an instant impact. I really probably can't give you a couple of guys off the top of my head. Like I guess you can say Nick Foles. But, quarterback's a difficult position. All right, we got Giants at Rams. Rams -13. Another one. You keep this one short and sweet. Rams going to win. They're going to cover 13. Next person.
Yeah, I mean, they got blown out against Nick Mullins and an injury-depleted San Fran team with literally no weapons on offense. Their running backs are McKinnon and Wilson Jr., and the receivers are Brandon Ayuk and, Jordan Reed, who got hurt. So, yeah, that's a terrible look. They're going to get blown out again. So, yeah, really quick, that's my take.
Yeah, I think the Rams get it done here as well. 13, big spread, but Giants are atrocious. I thought they were going to do better against San Francisco last week. That did not hold. Yeah, they're just not a good football team. Nothing much to say here. Rams are going to blow them out.
All right. I mean, nice to be on the same page. Here we go. Should be Sunday Night Football. New England at Kansas City.
Thank you. We needed some spark.
Tell me about it. That was all right. Pats fan. Obvious. Would I ever bet against the Pats? Never bet against the Pats. So you know what? We're going to win. Obviously, we're going to cover. It's going to be a shootout. It's not going to come down to New England, Seattle, whatchamacallit, 1 yard play.
Goal
Obviously,
line
we saw
stuff,
obviously we saw Kansas City shut down a running quarterback. I don't really count Cam Newton as a running quarterback anymore. I think that man's I think he's considered – I would consider more of a pocket passer that can escape when he needs to. I think the problem with Lamar is that he looks to run first, throw second. So it all comes down to, is Cam going to be accurate enough? And the Pats, we have a gross secondary. That's a fact. I think we can shut down Kelsey, Hill, Watkins, Robinson, Hardman. Don't get me wrong. They are stacked. What I want, if we're going to lose, I want us to lose because Fresh Prince of Hilaire gets, 200 yards, ground pound, and he scores a goal line touchdown. If we're going to lose, I think that's how it's going to happen. We're not going to lose to Mahomes.
Madden rookie mode, Hilaire will go off. Not in real life.
But you know what I'm saying? If we're going to lose, it's going to be because Fresh Prince of Hilaire is going to go off. I think that, Bill, he's going to be scheming. He's going to be doing all of his little behind the stuff. He's going to be talking to his dog, Nike, like, all right, who are we picking right now? He's going to do his stuff. He's going to do the dirty work. He's going to give his soul up because we're going to win. We're going to go 3-1. It's obviously going to be one hell of a game. Not denying that. But we're going to win. And I can't wait to hear Adam's case, who he considers himself a Pats fan, about why he's picking Kansas City to win and cover.
I think picking New England
Before you start, I want to say you are not a Pats fan. You're just a Brady fan. Continue.
Okay, you can say what you want.
How about you pull out your Mahomes jersey, Pats fan?
I do have a Mahomes jersey.
Have you put it on, huh? Pats fan.
Let's take a look here. You have the New England Patriots. Let's take a look at the past meetings. I think I should have the expert opinion on this because the last time they faced, I was there. I witnessed it with my own eyes.
I
saw a Patriots team that should have won.
Yeah.
They should have won. They had a terrible team, the worst 12-4 team we've ever had. But we should have beat that team. And I thought our defense matches up outstanding against Kansas City offense. Last week we saw Baltimore blitz 43% of the snaps and get absolutely torched. I think Mahomes threw 3 touchdowns. Ridiculous stat against the blitz. The Patriots run cover 0 at Arrowhead, AFC Championship. Lights are the brightest. Fans are screaming. Millions of people are watching. They did that because Bill Belichick is the genius. I'm a big Bill Belichick guy. But there's one person who's better than Bill Belichick, and that's Tom Brady. And without Tom Brady, my heart, I just can't. They're not going to put it together.
Is Tom Brady a system quarterback?
No. Dude, we're talking about Kansas City, New England here in 2020. We're talking about Cam Newton. The thing that the Patriots have going for them, if they can, number one, matriculate the ball down the field, long drives, keep it away from Mahomes. The best way to stop Mahomes, keep him on the bench. Number two, when we're playing Mahomes, our defense is on the field. Tight man coverage, third down, get him off the field. We've seen this before. It's not like the Patriots are asking them to do too much defensively. Offensively, we're asking them to do too much. I just don't see Cam Newton. The one strength of the Chiefs is their front four with Frank Clark and Jones. That's tough. Dude, I just don't think we're going to be able to run the ball.
You're underestimating our offensive line. We don't need a run.
I like
we got J.J. Taylor. We got Burkhead. We got James White coming back. I don't give a flying fuck who's starting right now. J.J. Taylor, the 5'6" wizard. That man is disgusting. He's literally fighting for his damn life because they know Damian Harris coming back.
Dude,
you got Michelle, who had the 2 longest runs of his career. You got Burkhead, who's playing his sweet little heart out.
He had the best
and
game of
you
his
still
career
got James White coming back, who's going to avenge his father this week.
I would love to see the Patriots win. I would 100% love it. If they win, I would be so excited. But we're talking about if we would put money on this game, who we're going to put our money on.
Yeah,
I'm not betting on Cam Newton.
Always bet. You never bet against Bill Belichick. That's all I'm saying. Never do. Andy Reid's fat ass.
I don't like it, but I'm taking Kansas City just because I saw a Kansas City team that embarrassed Baltimore, and I would consider Baltimore a better defense than us and a better run game than us. And they kind of neutralized both. They made both of them look pretty ineffective.
They don't got Bill Belichick.
I would love to see the Patriots win, but
that's all I'm saying.
That is a valid point. I agree with you on that, but I'm taking Kansas City by 7. Mike, your turn. Your mic's muted.
All right, there we go. I think New England +7 is a good pick. Last week I said I would never take Mahomes +3.5. I mean, I would always take Mahomes as a 3.5 point underdog. And now I'm going to say that I will always take Bill Belichick as a 7 point underdogs. I think this game will be closer than 7 points, and I think New England wins it outright. I think Bill Belichick will have a great plan in place.
It's almost like
I think
Mike's a Panthers fan. He's still picking the Pats.
I have a feeling that Hilaire will go off.
Fresh Prince of Hilaire.
Run like crazy. I think they're going to let him. It might be like that no Sean Moreno game where they let him run for 250
No
yards.
Sean Marino. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Do you remember that game? It was
yeah,
Broncos.
I do remember that.
Number one offense. Peyton Manning just didn't do anything. Moreno, fucking 300 yards. Here you go. I think we might see one of those. Just limit Mahomes and what he can do. Maybe take away Tyreek Hill and like force him to throw in the middle to Kelsey and just keep applying hits to him. Short games, give him the 5 yards. But I think Bill Belichick will be prepared and they will really have like a great game plan in place on the defensive side of the ball. I think the problem then is how are they going to score points? And I think that comes with Cam Newton running the ball. I think he's going to have to do what Lamar did, just run the ball and execute more in those short-to-go situations. So it will be a good game. I think Patriots will do a much better job than the Ravens, and I think they pull off the upset in Arrowhead.
I would love that to happen. I hope so.
I mean, the thing about the Pats is that Bill would rather get ground and pounded than get nuked on like we kind of did against Russ. Because when you get nuked on, it just feels like there's no answer. Like, how is he so open? Let them run the damn ball, and then shut down. I'm not even worried. We're gonna win. I'm not even. I would go on and on.
Not even worried. You're playing
not even worried.
At Kansas City.
Yeah. Oh no, their Chargers level fans are gonna really affect our playing ability.
Oh, so
Cam Newton is literally he lives in Gillette. This man literally has a sleeping bag under the left goalpost. I am not worried about it. Not even worried about it. All right, Buffalo at Las Vegas. Buffalo -3. I'm going to take Buffalo on both, but I don't feel good about the -3. That's all I'm saying. I do not feel good about the -3. Good for Josh Allen. You know, he's pretty sick. I love the Bills, second favorite team. But I don't feel safe. I don't feel too comfortable because, you know, Derek Carr's low-key fighting for his life too. You got Mariota, who could be better than him. You know, obviously he's not playing right now. He doesn't have you know, it's going to be close. I would not be surprised if Las Vegas wins. Kind of obviously would love to see it because then the Pats move into tie first, right? Yeah, we're tied for first. Yeah, I don't really have too much to talk about this other than I think it's going to be close. I'm not loving those -3, but I'm going to take them.
I am the opposite. I think the Bills will handle the business pretty easily here, and I think the Bills did a good job last week besides almost blowing that huge lead. I'm not a big fan of Derek Carr. I thought Patriots did a great job against the Raiders offense last week. It should have been more of a blowout than it really was. They hung close for a little bit, but it was really just like the points they scored wasn't really meaningful. It was the game was kind of out of hand anyways. But yeah, I do like Buffalo. I think their defense is good. I'm not a huge fan of Josh Allen, as you know, but I got to give him props. He's been playing well. And I'm going to take back my words of saying that, re-saying that Jalen Ramsey quote from 3 years ago. But I'll tell you one thing, I don't think Josh Allen's good enough to win this division. I hope the Patriots take it from him, regardless of not having the best player in NFL history on their team anymore.
I hope they take it from them? I know they will take it from them.
Are you questioning my Patriots,
Adam, you were just I just who am I talking? Oh yeah, Tom Brady poster, man. I don't care.
Dude,
I don't care about your Tom Brady poster. You want to know why? Because he's on the damn Bucks right now.
One by one. My Brady poster is actually my Brady jersey's coming in 2 weeks. Actually, it's the gray.
Oh great! Oh,
I'll wear that one of the pods. Yeah.
Tipping off. Yeah. Snake.
Mike, you get your taken?
-3.
Yeah, me too.
Josh Allen's sick. I think he's good enough to win the Super Bowl. His offense is rolling. Buffalo
All
defense is
right.
sick.
Adam smoked a lot of crack today because he's talking about the Pats losing to Kansas City. But, Mike, what the fuck are you smoking?
I'm serious. I think Josh Allen will be in the MVP conversation, and Buffalo's good enough. Their team's there. Super Bowl contenders for sure. Josh Allen is money on offense.
Sean McDermott is a very good coach. I'll give him that.
Who's their offensive coordinator is a incredible guy. I don't know what he did, but Josh Allen's completion percentage, I think it's floating in the 70s. He's hitting like every throw. He's running for first downs like a bunch, and he's just, I don't know, a great.
It's because of Diggs. It's all Diggs.
Yeah, Diggs has been really good.
Diggs is a huge. I thought Diggs was never gonna. I never had too much faith in Allen completing passes, but I take it all back. I don't mean to interrupt Mike.
Yeah, he was throwing to nobodies like last year, except John Brown.
Even John Brown is your number one. Great.
You know, that playoff game, they were like his number one receiver that in the Texans loss was like some guy they signed week 16 in the season. I think it was like Duke Williams from Auburn. Yeah, it's crazy. They were so slim on receivers. So now Josh Allen has guys he can go to, and that offense is rolling. The Raiders are also without like 3 receivers. They're gonna be having difficulties on the offensive
no
side
Ruggs
of the
is
ball.
big.
Yeah, I think this line's too small. I love Buffalo -3.
All right. Before Adam can say some more bullshit about the past, I'm gonna say the next game. We got Philly at San Fran. San Fran -7. I'm gonna keep this.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep. I mean, if Jimmy was playing, Bosa wasn't injured, Thomas wasn't injured, everyone else wasn't injured.
Mostert.
Every other fucking 20. The injury report San Fran -7 any day of the week. But you know what? San Fran's gonna win. Mullins is better than Garoppolo. Philly's going to lose, but they're going to cover. I'll give him that. Fuck Doug Peterson. Fuck Carson Wentz. Dak's better. Yeah.
I think I'm going to change my pick. Originally, I was going to do San Fran and San Fran covers, but I think I'm going to take San Fran and Philly covers. I think Philly, if they're probably the most desperate team in the entire league because no one saw them this terrible start to the season coming. It's a pretty bad teams they've lost to. So there's literally tied with. So it's no excuses. That tie last week was basically a loss, and they've dug themselves a huge hole that only the best of the best can climb out of, like Tom Brady. Anyways, back on this game. They're going to lose again to Nick Mullins.
You want me to get upset about saying Tom Brady's the best? I agree with you. He's obviously the GOAT.
I'm just kidding, dude. I'm kidding. I'm trolling.
I know where
Nick Mullins. Listen, Nick Mullins, he kind of reminds me he's like a Patriot type guy. Just the way he plays, just the way you look at him, you're like, you know what, that's like a Belichick type find right there. Just that kind of player he is. So I'm going to take Nick Mullins. I think he does well. I think McKinnon has another okay game. And I think Brandon Ayuk has a good game as well. And I think I would love to see the Eagles lose again, really make Carson Wentz. I have a lot of pressure on Carson Wentz because they should have won last week, and that was an embarrassment. So,
Jalen
I'm
Hurts,
taking Philly.
sorry.
I'm taking San Fran.
Yeah, Philadelphia. I'd lost the words for that game against Cincinnati. Doug Peterson is such a bum. Punting to ensure a tie. What are you doing? Carson Wentz could have converted a first down. It was like 4th and 12. But 15 seconds left in the game, no timeouts for any team. You try to get the first down, spike the ball if you do, and you can kick a field goal to win. Instead, they're like, nah, we'll punt and ensure the tie. What a dumb decision by Doug Peterson. I cannot believe. I thought he was a good coach. Obviously, I was wrong. I would be looking for alternatives right there. I thought Vic Fangio's time management was bad week 1. This is 10 times worse. Carson Wentz, I don't know what the hell is wrong with him. He's been ass. The whole Philadelphia team, ass. I just don't understand. They have the pieces on both sides of the ball, pretty talented team, but they just cannot do anything. Carson Wentz, I don't know what's wrong with him. He's my fantasy quarterback. He's trash.
Pick up Nick Mullins.
I'm still going to take Philadelphia because I like them. I'll take Philadelphia +7, and hopefully they win this game. But, yeah, they're probably not going to win this game. They're just a brutal team. But Carson Wentz, I'm just waiting for him to have a big game. I think this might be a good spot, prime time, against a pretty good defense to prove yourself. But if Philadelphia can win this game, they'll be in great position to win that division. Their division sucks. So like the season is not as far out of reach as you may think, even though they're like
Oh,
basically
absolutely not.
0-3.
The team number one. And you know what? I know we're hating on Doug Peterson punting, all that good stuff. But look at it this way. Obviously, the safer option is ensure the tie. And it is very, they could have obviously
It's not a
gotten that.
safer option because if they went for 4th and 12 and they didn't get it, odds are it would have been a tie unless Joe Burrow could complete a Hail Mary.
Yeah, so Lord knows that happens. They would be
Lord
more
knows,
than
dude,
they'd be a
you're more
they'd be,
no.
they'd be
no,
a game
you're
out of
more
first place.
likely to get
Right now,
12
what are they?
yards.
Half a game out of first place?
No, it does not matter.
The number one team in their division right now is the football team. You think that's going to stay?
On the game.
They're half a game behind. Obviously, you never want to give up on a football game, but I will give Peterson a little bit of slack. Because
no slack.
If
What's
Lord
more
knows
likely?
Washington was 3-0, Dallas was 3-0, all these teams were 3-0, and that's a win now a game. But now they're half a game back. That's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, and that half a game.
I'm saying this also because I don't want him to get fired because I fucking hate him and I want to see his ass go down in flames. Continue,
dude. I'm saying we don't know what's going to happen in the season to come, and that half point difference might affect their playoff chances. If they split with Dallas 1-1, and then somehow Dallas ends up 8-8, and Philadelphia 7-8-1, that could be the reason why they lost. And my theory is, what's more likely? You get 12 yards and spike the ball to kick a field goal, or Joe Burrow goes down the other field 65 yards with no timeouts. It's just not going to happen. 10 seconds.
Never know.
You're
Joe Burrow.
You're in the driver's seat. There's a much bigger chance that you're the one that's in the position to win that game. He folded. He punted the ball. Absolute, horrific decision. I don't know how anybody could back that up. And I just do not know how he even has this job right now. I would have called it quits right there. And to be fair, that Eagles team has been trending down since that Super Bowl win and since they got rid of Foles, just straight downhill. And there's
he's going to get canned.
Each year they toss blame. It's this person's fault. Defense sucks. Carson Wentz is injured. Injuries, blah blah blah. Injuries happen.
Losing to Washington week 1 was not a good look.
I'm furious with this team. I think, I just don't know what to think. If I was a player, I would not even want to be playing for Doug Peterson right now. I don't even know how Carson Wentz could even look him in the eyes. The guy wouldn't trust him to get 12 yards. I cannot believe it. So yeah.
I mean, dude, Lord knows they got a sack on that play.
It does not matter. The time would have been 5 seconds if they got a sack.
Dude,
Joe Burrow would legit only no.
Burrow's got a cannon.
And I think even a loss in that scenario isn't even that bad, honestly, compared to that dumb tie that they got. So, yeah, it's affecting my decision. But Philadelphia is a much worse team than San Francisco. So back to the script. I like San Francisco to win, but Philadelphia covers because I'm rooting for them. All right, next game.
That's your demise right there. Mike's famous last first. All right, we got Atlanta at Green Bay. Also, we gotta talk about that. The game is Sunday Night Football. There's always a little bit of cheese on Sunday Night Football. Always a little bit of cheese. All right, so that's why I like Philly +7 too. But okay, we got Atlanta at Green Bay, and we got Green Bay -7. Green Bay's gonna win, no question about that. Green Bay could be down 30 at halftime, and they'd still win. 7's a very good line. I think they'll win by a touchdown, so it's going to wash. So, yeah, I mean, I don't got a lot of faith in Atlanta. They got absolutely smack-dadly diddled in the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter by Nick Foles. Why would Aaron Rodgers do that to them? Give me 7 reasons why Rodgers won't do that to them. You can't. 7 -7. Just going to say that. So
you're taking Green Bay -7?
I'm doing Green Bay both.
All right.
This is pretty easy pick for me, but I just want to say something real quick. If I'm right about this, I want all the credit. If I'm wrong, we're going to forget it ever happened. Rumors. I checked my phone this morning.
About Julio coming to the Pats. Yup.
Julio Jones in trade talks with the Falcons in trade talks with the Patriots about Julio Jones. Quotation. You ready for this quote?
Done deal.
A done deal. We're waiting for Sunday. If this happens, if I'm Tom Brady, I'm pissed because number one, you couldn't get him this guy when he was there for 20 years.
Dude, Belichick's such a fucking asshole. He's like, oh, you want to see piss Brady off? Fucking Julio, bring that ass here.
Imagine if they get him for anything that's like around the same lines as a second round pick. Is if they do, it's like, bro, we could have gotten Julio. I'd say you got me Mohamed Sanu with a
no way.
second round
Belichick's
pick.
going to be giving up 2 first-round picks. Not actually, but he's going to be giving up a first and probably like Harry in the process because the Falcons we just
get
scum this
Harry's
asshole.
ass out. Let's bring in Julio.
Yeah, so I will flip them. I will flip them in a heartbeat. Here's my thing. If you're the Falcons, like we just swindled this guy's ass and Mohamed Sanu for a second round pick. Yeah, let me take Julio and let me take a first and a Harry.
Maybe part of the trade from last year was we'll second round pick for Mohamed Sanu because we need a wide receiver, like our best targets for Matt Lacoste, and then we get first dibs. We get some extra equity when it comes to the Julio Jones.
Yeah,
that's a conspiracy theory.
That's
possible.
It's very possible. Thing is, though, the thing that makes it even more likely is that the Pats have an open roster on a Friday, open roster spot. So,
do they really?
Not even lying. Saw it today. Saw it this morning.
That's
still like Kansas City -7, asshole.
I bet. Yeah, absolutely. I would take Kansas City -10. I'm kidding. No,
Julio, take a -17.
Well, listen. There's some truth to that because let's say they ship away N'Keal Harry for Julio. Julio doesn't know to play about day one. Like he's not.
Yeah, no, he's not gonna play from like a week.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyways, I'm taking Green Bay here. I think this is the Rodgers show, Monday Night Football primetime. Rodgers, Devontae Adams back shoulder. I can see it in my mind already. It's gonna be a blow up. And I think Atlanta is gonna score a bunch of garbage time points. Hopefully they give Gurley some red zone carries because the dude needs to get in the end zone more.
Dude, nuts. They're 0-3 with that talent. They have a
fantastic offense. They put up so many points. But the problem is they can't close games. And the issue is you have Gurley, you want to put management on Todd Gurley, but you don't want to feed him the ball too much because guess what? He has arthritis in his knee. So it's like, do you run the ball late? Do you pass it because you trust Calvin Ridley and Julio? So they don't know how to close, but it's not even going to come down to that. It's just going to be Green Bay blowing them out at Lambeau. So, yeah, I'm taking Green Bay pretty big here.
Yeah, Atlanta's 0-3. Green Bay's 3-0. But I'm going to go Atlanta +7 because I want a close game on Monday night, and I'm going to be rooting for the Falcons here. So that's the basis of my pick. But, yeah, all signs show to Green Bay killing them. But Atlanta hasn't been looked that bad, except for the fact that they are blowing leads left and right. But if they can, like, contend, Matt Ryan, like, has success on the offensive side of the ball, I think this game could be pretty close. So I don't know. I just don't know like what the logistics are and like with the chemistry with Dan Quinn. I don't know if he's lost that team already. I probably would have been out on him, but yeah, I don't know if there's one way to recover from the 0-3 start and 2 blown leads. It's to upset Green Bay here. So I think the boys will be playing hard. Matt Ryan, Boston College guy, but
I feel bad for him. Tough.
I do too. Green Bay.
I mean, he's at blame for an extent because he's got to find a way to extend drives. You know what I mean? Obviously, play calling's a big thing, but you know, at the end of the day, you know, just find a way to take some time off the damn clock.
At the end of the day, Dan Quinn lost that locker room 3 years ago. I'm just saying it. They have no fight in them. I just can't. How could you, especially after blowing 2 fourth-quarter 15-point leads back-to-back weeks? Like, you could be up 21 and not have any confidence. So I just
you got a lot. Some of the blame, not all of it, not a lot, not the majority, but some of it is on Matt Ryan for just not finding a way to keep the damn clock running. You know what I mean? You have 3 guys who have at least 3 guys who already have a 100-yard receiving game in this young season. You got Todd Gurley. You know, you have talent. I'm pretty sure their offensive line is pretty good. You know, they've been juicing it up because they know they're in kind of win now.
They put up 39 points against Dallas, and you're blaming Matt Ryan.
I'm not blaming him. I'm saying he has some of the blame for not finding another way to run some damn time off the clock. Use your damn legs.
They need clock
I'm not coming out here and saying that's Matt Ryan's fault. No. You are a former MVP. You're telling me right now you can't also find a way to close these damn games out?
Yeah, I can't really trust them anymore. I don't think I'm ever going to pick the Falcons again unless they play like Miami or something, like a weak team.
I mean, obviously the Falcons are like pretty good
Oh,
team.
they're nice. Like in weeks like 13 to 17 when they're out of playoff contention.
They'll
Usually-
upset New Orleans like once in like week 15.
Week 16.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're gonna
They get
pull
the
a
job
Miami.
done when it doesn't matter.
They're like Miami Miracle. Like, let's just fuck with the Patriots so hard right now and let's just fucking win.
Okay, so Chase, we've heard your bold prediction. You think Taysom Hill's gonna have more fantasy points than
Yeah,
Brees?
Taysom Hill more fantasy points than Breeze. I will throw like $50 on that right now.
All right, my bold prediction this week, and guess what? I'm going to Arrowhead for my bold prediction this week. Travis Kelce is going to be held. I don't want this to happen because I have him in fantasy, but he's going to be held under 50
wow,
yards.
another reason you're not a Pats fan. Continue.
He's going to be held under 50 yards.
I already saw that with Waller.
Chase,
I don't know if it's a hot take anymore. So
Okay.
Darren Waller.
That's just not a hot take, Adam.
No, it is. Want to know why? Because the Raiders, all they have is Waller. Like, they have no threat anywhere else. When you're Kansas City, you have Sammy Watkins, Tyreek Hill. Yeah, oh yeah, he's great in the passing game. Absolutely. All I'm saying is, Chase, since you're such a Pats fan, who do you think is going to be guarding Travis Kelce one-on-one?
I'm going either Adrian Phillips or Jawan Williams.
Incorrect. You go to the safeties because in the AFC Championship game and in Gillette,
Adrian Phillips and Jawan Williams are both safeties. Who's the Pats fan?
Guess what? J.C. Jackson.
I knew you were going to say J.C. Jackson.
Game. 45 yards to Kelce at Arrowhead. 0 points in the first half. Want to know why? Because J.C. Jackson held the clamps on the best tight end in football.
Dude, that's some bullshit. That is some bullshit. Kelce has never been the best tight end in the league, and he never will be. I am staying by that.
I actually think Kittle's better than him all around.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Kittle's way better. He's the best, no question.
Yeah. I mean, right now that Kittle's hurt, I mean, you could say Kelce right now through 3 weeks.
No, Kittle could still do better. They're just not playing him.
Yeah. Well, he's coming back, so he'll be a factor. Mike, what's your bold prediction for this week?
Bold prediction for this week. I'm going to go with my boy, Elaire. I think he's going to have the game.
The Fresh Prince of Hilaire.
I think
game of his life.
God. Oh, Bill Belichick is just going to give him open space on all sorts of plays, runs, catches. I think over 175 all-purpose yards for Elaire. He's just going to go off. He's going to be open every play.
I think I'm going to add a part 2 to my bold prediction.
Oh, no.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to be the first running back in NFL history this season to have the most goal line carries out of any running back in the league with the least amount of touchdowns. He's going to be stuffed at the goal line. Most out of NFL history.
Whoever, Eric Bellamy, Andy Reid, whoever is the one, Emily, whatever the guy's name is, whoever's the one making him run the ball in is a fucking moron. Give a goddamn defensive tackle the ball. Give a tight end the ball. Give an lineman the ball.
I say give him the ball. He's a good goal line back. I say give him every touch possible. He's on two of my fantasy teams.
I'd rather have that guy Darrell Williams who fumbled last week. Give him the ball.
Oh God, he needs to.
I think Thompson fumbled last week. Darrell Williams, give him the goal line work. It was not Elaire.
Yeah, because when in doubt, give a 5'6" guy the ball in the goal line when you got a bunch of fucking 300-pound monsters out there like gunning for him.
I gotta give Hilaire credit though. That over-the-shoulder catch, I think, was the first pass of the second half. That was like a wheel route over the shoulder. That was a great catch. Not a lot of running backs can do that. Sick. Yeah, especially over the shoulder. So we're gonna wrap it up here. I hope you guys enjoyed. We had a little bit more action going on, especially towards the Patriots and Chiefs game. And what was that heated debate you guys were on? It was the Eagles game. Yeah. On that.
I mean, at the end of the day, about the damn Eagles, no one cares. Who gives a flying fuck about the Eagles?
I was going to add that.
Mike, I don't even know what fan. I don't even want to get started. What fan who you're rooting for?
Okay.
I'm an Eagles fan. I'm a Pens fan. I'm a Pats fan. I'm a Chargers fan.
Cowboys guy.
Dude, I'm not out here being like I'm rooting for the Cowboys. I'm not out here like, I hope the Cowboys win the Super Bowl. Bills fan.
Week 1, the 49ers are my team last year. This year, it's the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
The table.
Dude, I did bang the table. I hit you with the certified slam. They will go to the NFC Championship game. They will beat the Seahawks. I'm not even worried about it.
Wow. All right.
No.
That's all right. We'll talk about it next week.
Y'all can bite your words. San Francisco,
I was
week
doing the
1
outro.
last year. You know I'm 1-0.
He's still talking.
No reason to be 2-0. No reason not to be. Continue.
Hope you guys enjoyed. Definitely like and subscribe if you enjoyed this episode and you want to see more of this. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Hopefully you guys will enjoy this week of football games as not that good matchups as last week. But yeah, enjoy the games. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out.
Fuck the Eagles.